Good day, this is Ray. Today is Sunday, November 1st, 2020. As always, hope you and your family, friends, and loved ones are doing well, staying home, staying safe. I know it's unusual for me to post 2 videos in a weekend. I don't do it often, but I am going to do it today. Just have a lot on my mind, woke up with a lot on my mind. For most of you, you probably had your clocks turned back. I think there was only 2 states that don't change their times. And doesn't really make a difference to me because I never sleep. But yeah, that's just what we do. So woke up on this, it was about 3 a.m. after the time change. And I just kind of stayed awake and played on my phone a little bit till 5 a.m. And then 5 a.m. I took one set of my medications, which I have to take an hour before I eat. And so I took that medication, I had breakfast at 6 a.m. and then that's when I had my other medications, took the bulk of my other medications. So and after eating breakfast, I had my medications, I jumped on my computer and I spent a lot of time just getting organized the books that I'm currently reading or about to read. They're the books that I have on lupus, and I went ahead and decided that I'm going to finish one of the books this year, which is Coping with Lupus. This is a good way to start, to get into it. So it's going to be Coping with Lupus, and then the Lupus book by Daniel Wallace, and then the Lupus Encyclopedia by Donald Thomas. So, once I finish Coping with Lupus, I'll talk more about that. It's definitely a book I've always been interested in. But anyway, I started thinking this morning about how can I learn all these things about lupus. There's just a lot of information about it. A lot of rheumatologists have studied it and posted information online about it, written books. And a lot of it can be overwhelming, especially, somebody being newly diagnosed. When I say newly diagnosed, it was last year in May that I was diagnosed, but that may seem like a lot of time to some to be able to cope with it, but I've had a lot of changes. So, in May I was diagnosed, and at the end of August I moved cross country, moved back to be closer to home, and started in a new position that I was only filling in temporarily for. That position lasted until February, and then I went to my new office, my current office, in February. Ended up having a grand mal seizure in February. Couldn't drive for 6 months. Went into quarantine. Started in March, and just had a lot to cope with, especially on the job where things have changed pretty much day to day. It feels like. So it didn't really give me a lot of time to focus on this disease, learning about it, being consistent with learning about it. And so that's what my videos, I would say, probably didn't have a lot of content or anything about lupus in particular, but that's going to change. My goal for next year, of course, is to be able to break this down, to grow into it, and to be able to share information that's going to be helpful to those who have lupus or any chronic illnesses, and to give them a way to be able to learn the stuff that they have to learn. So I was thinking back to my music career. And at the beginning of music, it started when I was around 5 years old, maybe even younger. I would say younger because I was listening to music, as a kid. I enjoyed it, I loved it. And, starting on piano, I had to take lessons. Learning music, of course, you have to do a lot of listening, whether or not it's a live performance or a recorded performance, it doesn't really matter. I spent a lot of hours practicing. I had to learn a lot of lessons. Excuse me a second. I am going to refer to my notes here. Okay, yeah, so I had to take lessons. I had to do recitals, go to recitals, attend performances, do a lot of studying, whether it was music theory or history, all that. And of course I had to perform. And I had to have peer reviews on, performances and things like that. It was a lot, a lot that went into it, financially and both physically and emotionally. did that for a number of years. And, I was thinking about that, how many hours and time devoted to it. It was a lot easier, of course, because it was something I loved to do. And, something I was invested in. Lupus is not something I asked for. It's not something I wanted to go through. It's not something that I planned for. It's not something that I said, yeah, lupus, that sounds interesting. Of course, I knew people who had lupus, and on the surface, I would see their struggles, but I was never with them behind the scenes, or live with them, or I had to see what they went through daily and what it was like when they went home. And now I'm starting to know, starting to better understand. So I'm going to put the devotion and energy into, of course, learning about lupus, but I have other things I have to be concerned about, as well as focusing on getting better at my career and my job, and being more efficient, and learning what my restrictions and limitations are physically, some of the demands that are on me, and I'm trying to figure that out. But with these videos, I do want to say that I am going to sound dumb to especially the professionals that deal with lupus and understand autoimmune diseases and things like that. And, maybe to people who've had lupus for a number of years have a better understanding of it than I do. That's fine. This is something I'm going to have to grow into. I understand that. I'm going to give myself timelines, deadlines, things to be able to measure myself on as I'm going through this journey. So, it's going to I have to be accountable to myself to do these things. If not, what's the point? I could just stop doing this, be like, forget it. I just live my life and I'm good. Right now, I don't know, that could happen. I hope not. I hope I continue to do this. Definitely investing, the finances into doing this. I have lighting equipment, got this cool background, invested in a microphone, and didn't have to invest in audio equipment. That's free. I'm sorry, the audio program that I'm using, that's free. The video software, I did invest a little bit into that. And, there's a reason I'm doing this. And I don't want anybody to go through the experience that I went through initially with being diagnosed with this and not really having the information that I needed to be able to just barely cope with this. Not everybody is just going to attack this the way that I am. I understand that. But, hopefully, somebody may stumble across this, or somebody might be seeking out information about lupus and don't even know where to start. That's hopefully what you'll get from my videos. So anyway, November 1st, I've got 2 months to finish coping with lupus. Hopefully I'm going to read and reread it and to be able to better explain what the book is all about and how I'm going to be able to go forward and using that as a resource. Alright, so that's all I got for today. This is even more than I anticipated on talking about, so hope you have a great day. Happy November, and don't forget to vote on Tuesday if you haven't already voted. Be safe, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.